दिग्विजय जी आपके दोस्त हैं। मैं अभी भी राजनीति में पॉलिटिकल अपोनेंट्स को दोस्त ही कहती हूँ। आपके दोस्त हैं अमित शाह जी। अमित शाह जी आए, उन्होंने कहा कि दिग्विजय सिंह जी की परमानेंट रिटायरमेंट कर दीजिए।
जनाजा निकालिए।
उन्होंने कहा आशिक का जनाजा निकालिए, ये भी कहा। How, what did you feel when you heard those words?
Amused.
शाम के 6 बजे सूरज डूबने को आ रहा है and this absolutely stunning place is Sompur in Raghogar. We're here on the campaign trail with Digvijay Singh and we're going to take a walk with him through these villages and these fields. Digvijay ji, good to see you here outside of Delhi. This is a really stunning place और मुझे लगा कि दो कुर्सियों पे बैठ के तो कभी भी इंटरव्यू हो सकता है, कभी भी बातचीत होती है. People like us don't get an opportunity to see this kind of place. I just want to show you before I start talking to Mr. Digvijay Singh where we are. If the camera turns around, you will see it's very sparsely populated. There are a few huts and everything else is just open fields. And in the distance, you can see a few Congress party flags. Raghogarh has been a kind of island for the Congress, some would say in a sea of saffron. But what's going to happen in the Lok Sabha elections? How are you doing?
Well, working hard.
You've said it's your last election. It's not like you to say anything is last. ये आपने क्यों बोल दिया?
Because I will be 82 in the next election. So I
82
think,
is the new 60?
No.
Huh?
No. The time comes now when one has to decide.
तो जब आप कहते हैं ये आपका आखिरी चुनाव है, is there a lot of pressure on you to win? Does it feel like this is not a routine election?
Well, no election is routine election. Every election is a special election.
इसमें क्या challenge है? You've come to an area after 33 years.
Yes.
बीच में आपने, for those who don't know, Digvijay Singh took a pledge that he was not going to do electoral politics for 10 years after a defeat in Madhya Pradesh in the state elections. What is the biggest challenge here? Let's just stand for a moment and you tell us, सबसे बड़ी चुनौती क्या है?
See, there are two things. पहली चुनौती तो देश की है, जहाँ जो महंगाई, बेरोजगारी और जिस प्रकार से जो हमारे स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडीज को कॉम्प्रोमाइज किया जा रहा है, लोगों को जेल भेजा जा रहा है, कभी भी नहीं हुआ कि सिटिंग चीफ मिनिस्टर को डायरेक्टली जेल भेज दिया।
आप अरविंद केजरीवाल की बात कर रहे हैं?
और हेमंत सोरेन की, दोनों की बात कर रहा हूँ। और ऐसा कोई केस भी नजर नहीं आता है, ऐसा कोई मनी ट्रेल भी समझ में नहीं आता है, और उन्हें जमानत भी नहीं हो रही है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट कई बार कह चुका है, बेल इज द राइट, बट व्हाई आर दे नॉट बीइंग गिवन द राइट? देयरफॉर एक तो सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज वहां है। दूसरा चैलेंज मेरा लोकल इश्यूज पर। राजगढ़ हैज बीन my constituency from 1984. When I was a minister in Arjun Singh's cabinet, he had put me as a in-charge minister for Rajgarh. Rajgarh now, I may go back, has been a sort of a nursery for the Jansangh RSS.
And the Jansangh has won quite often from here as well.
Yes, and in fact, Hindu Mahasabha, Jansangh, and people coming from outside. Dr. Vasant Kumar Pandit won from this constituency twice. He never came to this constituency. He only came to file his nomination and went back. Then Mr. Jagannath Rao Joshi from Karnataka, he won twice from here. So people just did not vote Congress party.
Right.
For 1984, I was the first time a Congress member of parliament was elected. Although there was a huge Congress wave that time after the assassination of Mrs. Indira Gandhi. So but I won that election. But in 89 election I lost. But I won back in 91.
But how do you deal with the challenge of coming back to a place that is your home base? आपका परिवार का किला भी यहाँ पर है, but you're coming back after more than 3 decades. आप 30 साल बाद वापस आ रहे हैं. आप कैंपेन ट्रेल पे जाते हैं तो यंग लोगों को बतानी पड़ती है अपनी कहानी, अपनी फैमिली हिस्ट्री. Isn't it difficult?
So let me tell you one thing कि I was never disconnected with the constituency. Because as a chief minister, I was in close contact with the people of Rajgarh, a parliament seat. I was in touch with the local people. And I always, because being a member of parliament, then becoming chief minister, so I had special sort of a feeling for the people of Rajgarh. And they had a free access to the CM residence. And I can't remember how many people I would have helped. I must have helped. Whether education or health or whatever. So there was a natural connect.
But yet this is a challenging election for you. It's a tough fight.
Every election is a challenge.
पर आप मुझे ये बताइए, एक तो मैं फिर दिखाना चाहती हूँ यहाँ पर कुछ बच्चे निकले हैं. यहाँ पर पीछे गांव है, एक छोटा सा गांव है. दिग्विजय जी आपके दोस्त हैं. मैं अभी भी राजनीति में पॉलिटिकल अपोनेंट्स को दोस्त ही कहती हूँ. आपके दोस्त हैं अमित शाह जी. अमित शाह जी आए, उन्होंने कहा कि दिग्विजय सिंह जी की परमानेंट रिटायरमेंट कर दीजिए,
जनाजा निकालिए.
उन्होंने कहा आशिक का जनाजा निकालिए. ये भी कहा. What did you feel when you heard those words?
Amused.
Because
the kind of language that he used. And of course, in 15 minutes speech, he took my name 17 times.
The BJP likes you a lot.
Absolutely. Okay. They love me.
No, more seriously, they see you as one of the more controversial Congress leaders. They accuse you of, if they are accused of Hindutva, they accuse you of appeasement politics when it comes to Muslims.
Rubbish.
Absolute
rubbish.
How do you deal with that in an environment like this?
Absolute rubbish. I don't appease any particular religious group or any community. I strongly believe that as per the Indian Constitution, every person has a right to follow the religion of his choice. And there should be no, I would say, interference in whatever way that we interfere in the practice of their religious rights.
But can I ask you something? You've just come from you told me an incredible story कि यहाँ पर एक खेत था, खेत में एक किसान था. किसान एक दिन अपनी खेती बाड़ी कर रहा था और जमीन में उसको एक मूर्ति मिली. And we're going to show you pictures, our audience pictures of the मूर्ति. It's spectacularly beautiful. और आप अभी वहीं से आ रहे हैं. You have always been a religious person.
Yes.
ये कैसे हुआ that the Congress ceded this space to the BJP? और बार बार यहाँ पर बीजेपी का सवाल उठता है कि भाई कांग्रेस के नेता प्राण प्रतिष्ठा पे नहीं गए, अयोध्या में बड़ी गलती कर दी उन्होंने, पॉलिटिकली गलती कर दी. क्योंकि आप एक मंदिर से ही आ रहे हैं, मैं ये आपसे सवाल पूछना चाह रही थी.
इसमें क्या सवाल है?
सवाल ये है कि गलती हुई अयोध्या ना जाकर?
बिल्कुल नहीं हुई. देखिए, अपूर्ण मंदिर में कभी प्राण प्रतिष्ठा नहीं होती. ये शास्त्रों के विपरीत है. नंबर 1. नंबर 2, जो इनविटेशन उन्होंने भेजा था वो तो एक लगता था पॉलिटिकल इवेंट बना दिया था उन्होंने. ये कोई रिलीजियस इवेंट थोड़ी ना था. एक. नंबर 2. नंबर 3, none of the Shankaracharyas, they were invited but they refused to go because they felt they commented that it is against the established practice of Pran Pratishtha after the completion of the temple. The temple is not yet complete and they did the Pran Pratishtha for political gains.
Do you find the mandir to be a big political issue here?
No longer. They are trying to drum it up.
किस मुद्दे पे यहाँ पे चुनाव लड़ा जा रहा है?
महंगाई, बेरोजगारी, किसानों की,
वो आपकी कोशिश है कि उस पे फोकस रहे. एक्चुअली किस मुद्दे पे लड़ा जा रहा है?
एक बीजेपी के लीडर ने तो यहाँ तक कह दिया कि चुनाव दिग्विजय सिंह और रोडमल नागर का नहीं है, दिग्विजय सिंह भगवान राम के बीच में है. आपको
लगता है सर?
फिर मैंने कहा कि भाई भगवान राम अगर चुनाव लड़ते तो दिग्विजय सिंह तो उनका प्रस्तावक बनता, उनसे आप थोड़ी लड़ता. उसका अपना पर्चा ही नहीं भरता.
फिर एक सीरियस सवाल है, क्या कांग्रेस को एक नई भाषा ढूंढनी पड़ेगी? क्योंकि पॉलिटिक्स की जो जो कहते हैं ना, रूल्स ऑफ द गेम हैव चेंज्ड.
See, the point is, the Congress party has not deviated from its established path of equal rights to all religions. Sarv Dharm Sambhav. That is the essence of Sanatan Dharma. That is the essence of the speech.
But you have allies like Udinidhi Stalin who's insulting Sanatan Dharma.
No, listen to me. They probably don't know Sanatan Dharma. I'm sorry to sort of...
So 2 minutes खड़े होते हैं ना. We're looking at a beautiful sun's about to set. I want you to just get a moment of where we're standing. Otherwise, it would be a waste to have come all this way here. But go on.
So probably they don't know the Sanatan Dharma. That is why they've come out with this statement. Because Manusmriti is something different. It is not a part of our inherent Sanatan Dharma. If you read Bhagavad Gita, Yudhishthira has said that it is not by birth. You go into a work of your, I would say, profession. Anyone who is articulate or who's professional becomes a Brahmin. One who's a warrior becomes a Kshatriya. One who's doing business or farming will become a Vaishya. And those who do menial jobs, it's not by birth.
I mean, that is a whole debate on caste.
Yes.
Which takes me to something that is being much discussed in this election. Redistribution, जितनी आबादी उतना हक, राहुल गांधी कहते हैं, मोदी जी कहते हैं वो लेके आपकी संपत्ति दूसरे लोगों को दे देंगे, मंगलसूत्र दूसरों को दे देंगे, मुसलमानों को दे देंगे.
What a joke. Probably he has not read our Congress manifesto, but he has not even read his BJP manifesto also too.
Because
he doesn't want to.
Why do you say that?
Because his agenda is quite different.
Which is?
His agenda is not economic. It's not political, but only politico-religious. He is using religion as a political weapon, which is not allowed under the present People's Representation Act. Also, it is against the model code of conduct of the Election Commission.
So how does the Congress counter that?
Well, we only believe that the election issues are in a very high rate of inflation, a very high rate of unemployment, using the bodies, like Enforcement Directorate, IT, CBI, for political gains. People are being hounded, people are being threatened, punished, and put into jail without any evidence at all.
A big decision that the party had to take and has now been taken was on Amethi and Raebareli. The Congress president was on record to say that he wished that both Priyanka and Rahul would contest from Amethi and Raebareli. वो नहीं हुआ. Were you disappointed?
Well, I think it was a conscious decision taken by the party.
But आपको क्यों? So you're a veteran. You've known the family all your life. Were you disappointed? Do you think it's a missed opportunity कि अमेठी खाली छोड़ दी? अब प्रधानमंत्री भी कहते हैं he's mocking the Congress कि भाई आप तो कहते थे डरो मत, आप खुद डर गए.
कोई नहीं डरे. अगर डरना होता तो वो रायबरेली से भी नहीं डरते.
But are you disappointed on the Amethi decision?
No.
Okay, explain it. How does it make sense?
See, it's the choice of the party.
Would you have made the same? Would you have advised the same? Would you have advised them to do this?
I'm not in the Central Election Committee.
Oh, come on. Now you're just being politically correct. Would you have advised them to do this?
Well, if I had been in the Central Election Committee, I would have conveyed my thoughts. Whatever.
Those thoughts wouldn't have been this decision.
No.
Okay. Before we get back to politics, a little bit of where we are standing. Your son told us कि जब आप उनकी उम्र के थे, या शायद उससे भी छोटे, there's Jay standing in that corner. तो यहाँ आकर, in a way, your wild young years were spent here. Now, this is a family channel, but you can tell us what some of those wild years looked like. What did you? No,
that was, at time hunting was allowed.
Yes.
And there was a small river. And
somewhere there in the distance?
Yes. And we used to come and stay for 2 to 3 days in our one of the farmers' house, and it was wonderful. In fact,
what do you remember about it?
Oh,
what's the abiding memory?
Well, abiding memory is to get up in cold winter at 4:30 in the morning and walk and go for the shikar.
And this is a hunt of a different kind. ये अब अलग किस्म का hunt है, अलग किस्म का शिकार है. Digvijay ji, how stunned were you by the Madhya Pradesh Assembly election results? Was it a big shocker?
Absolutely.
तो क्या हुआ? Did you all get overconfident? Were you and Kamal Nath fighting again?
No question.
How are you getting along these days?
Very well. We've been friends for the last more than 40 years, since 1977 onwards. So there is no question of any kind of difference of opinion between me and Kamal.
But what went wrong? You had some time to think about it. What went wrong?
See, I'll put it like this. In ballot paper, let's say, the postal ballot paper, we led in 199 seats out of 230. 199, postal ballot. Postal ballot included government officials, then people over the age of 80, then people in central services, army, etc., and those who were physically challenged. Across the board, we led in 199 seats out of 230. And we were expecting about 135 to 140 seats. And when we got the results, it was a shocker. We got only 66 seats. The difference in the vote percentage in Madhya Pradesh in about last 3-4 assembly elections has been 0.5 to 2%. This time it's 8%.
So what does that tell you?
Well, I've been saying this, that they are manipulating the EVM.
Now, when you say this, you immediately walk into controversy. Because
there is no controversy.
Let me say why. Because even those who are not supporters of this government, like let's say former CEC S.Y. Qureshi, he's not seen as a Modi fan. He says the EVMs cannot be manipulated. And if EVM manipulate हो सकते हैं, तो तेलंगाना में आप कैसे जीते?
He has changed his opinion. Now please go back and talk to him.
अच्छा, तो तेलंगाना में कैसे जीते उन्हीं machines पे?
Because BJP has no stakes in Telangana.
Well,
they had no stakes. So therefore, they do it very cleverly. They manipulate in a major way. In about more than 270 seats in the parliament, they did in 2019 and 2014. And you see, my questions are simple to the Election Commission. Question number 1: is it standalone machine? Is it the chip used? Is it a one-time programmable chip or a multiple programmable chip? Number 2: where are you sourcing this chip from? And what is the software? You see, since software has come in, the computer listens to the command of only software, not of the person who is operating it. Accepted? Agreed?
I'm listening. You go on.
Yeah. Okay. Now, as it stands today, since VVPAT came in, the loading of the candidate's name and the symbol is done through SLU, Symbol Loading Unit. And that is connected to the central server of the Election Commission when the names of the candidates and the symbols are loaded on the VVPAT unit. Now, VVPAT unit is connected to the SLU, and SLU is connected to the Central Election Commission central server, and through that it is loaded in the VVPAT. Okay. Now, the very fact that it is connected to the internet, which has been a consistent stand of the Election Commission, that it is never connected to the internet. It is connected when the randomization of the machines takes place also. The Central Election Commission decides which machine will go to which assembly segment. The second randomization decides which machine will go to which polling booth. Now, all that is something which the Election Commission has stonewalling our queries. Why?
The Supreme Court didn't accept this argument.
Supreme Court has not has not agreed to this, but the very fact that they have asked the symbol loading units to be kept in the strong room for the next 45 days after the polling, that itself is something which can be very useful if someone challenges.
One of the things the BJP says is that you talk about the machines when you lose, but never when you win.
No, not really. For example, I have always been opposing since 2003 because, it is my right when I press a button to know that it has been correctly recorded and it be correctly counted. Initially, it was just press the button and it went to the control unit. There was no intermediate unit. So it was simply press the button and goes to the control unit. That could be challenged again for it can benefit it. But now the ballot unit which does not have a chip is not connected to the control unit directly. It is connected to the VVPAT. So VVPAT is the machine unit which is sending message to the control unit, not the ballot unit.
Okay, so now you've made this argument, but you understand that you will be, let's just walk last couple of minutes, you will be accused of being a veteran politician who is questioning the democratic process. You will be called irresponsible. Worse, you could be called a poor sport, that you're trying to anticipate a defeat and you're explaining it through this way.
Well, whether I win or lose doesn't make a difference. But what is more important is a right of every voter to know where his vote has gone. And what we had requested the Election Commission and the Supreme Court was after we see we press the button, we see a 7-second image of the symbol which we have voted for. Now that then goes to the printer and goes to the unit. That VVPAT slip falls in a box. Why can't we get this slip in our hand so that we see that whether it's been rightly?
I understand, but the Supreme Court has ruled on this. So this is where you are now, right?
Fine.
Okay, so now as we end, you've often been controversies child. Do you regret any political decision of yours? Do you think you could have done something in your life differently? Do you regret comments that you made that you today think?
Barkha, tell me one controversial statement of mine.
After 26/11, the comments that you made.
Like what?
On Hemant Karkare.
What did I say?
You tell me.
I said Hemant Karkare has been killed and it is unfortunate. But Hemant Karkare was the man who had sort of, as a police official,
looked at the Malegaon blast.
Yes.
But so, that has nothing to do with Ajmal Kasab and Pakistan being behind 26/11.
I never accused RSS or the BJP or whatever in the 26/11 Bombay attack. I never did that. But yet at the same time, it was a coincidence that Hemant Karkare was killed in that. Number one, I have never given any statement which I feel was inconsistent. But I've been wrongly, I would say, quoted, and I've been wrongly sort of blamed for a statement which I've never made.
Okay, now as we end, because we've spoken about a lot of serious things, if you lose, what happens?
Well, I lose.
Will you still laugh about it all?
Of course, yes.
I see your son standing here, and I'm going to take this opportunity to ask him to tell us something about your father that nobody knows.
Well, I guess people know a lot about any politician these days with how transparent things are. But about one misconception, which people may have with the kind of propaganda the BJP spreads, is how deeply religious and spiritual he is. There's not a single day when he won't do his yoga, when he won't do his puja. And I think his biggest strength is his belief in Sanatan Dharma, and his belief in Raghuji Maharaj, who's our Kuldevta, and Ashapura Ma, who's our Kuldevti, who's our Kuldevi. So, I think that's one thing which is his biggest strength. And whatever today, he has achieved or our family has achieved has all been the blessings of our Kuldevi and Kuldevta.
Last word to you. Any message, special message for the Prime Minister from your home turf?
Yes. Please, for God's sake, speak truth for once.
Digvijay Singh there taking on the Prime Minister directly. I just still can't resist as he walks away. Amit Shah would want him to walk away into the sunset. The sunset is right there. You don't quite want to walk away into the sunset just yet, do you?
Well, sunset is beautiful.
The sun is indeed setting there, and from Rajgarh, this beautiful village of Sompur, on the campaign trail with Digvijay Singh and his son Ajay, this is Barkha Dutt reporting. Namaskar and hello everyone. Welcome to a ride through the heart and the soul of India. क्योंकि जब इलेक्शन सीजन आता है तो कौन जीता, कौन हारा, कौन आगे, कौन पीछे, ये बातचीत तो होती ही रहती है. But it's also a time for travel and meeting people and getting to know your own country better. So, welcome to the dhabas of democracy, where every bite tells a story, where every conversation will spice up your day. Experience the masala, the flavor, the swad of this election with us as we take a unique road trip from the south to the north of India, traveling thousands of kilometers to bring you the flavor of this election.